Hey Gainums! Today I will be sharing my experience with moving schools. So first, of course, I'll tell you how many times I have moved. I've moved 5 times. The first time was like in the middle of 3rd grade EOE. Angle I was actually kinda happy because before I went to the next school. We took a break from schools for 6 to 7 months. I immediately moved on from my first school BC. Either I was still young or not that emotionally attached to it. But of course the long break from going to school did damage my communication skills. So for some reason when I went to my next school I didn't talk to anyone. Making friends necessarily wasn't hard, just small talk was hard to handle. Like I could start a topic, but I'd blank out or worrying if someone asked a question. And I didn't open up about anything or want to be friends with anyone outside of school. Anyway, besides communicating, remembering where my classroom was a real challenge. And the syllabus was the most toughest battle. Not even funny. It was so sad I'd cry when I couldn't understand an essay or some math. Also BC before I lived in the middle east then moved to Pakistan. I think they have different studies or something. The discipline was also really terrible and traumatic in my second school. I think most of the time I'd actually cry because of the amount of homework they'd give us. Like we probably had 50 pages to write every single day. Yeah, so I didn't really know what to do about it. But my sister kinda begged my parents to change schools. So after 3 to 4 months, we did, thank God. I was like failing almost every class test if I even did take the test, and exams were coming up. And I say if I even took the test because one time I remember I literally cried in class because IDIDN single quotes T memorized for the test. And I was the only one in class the teacher let not take the test. Okay, anyway, I felt very relieved when we changed schools, but that relief was quickly crushed. Since we got a school in the same area, so it was a very similar school. Anyway, here it did get a little better TBH. So the hardest thing to get used to was my classmates. My classmates, bro. Don't even get me started. Like everyone had their own groups. I took half of 4th grade and half of 5th grade in my 3rd school. And for some reason, when I went into 5th grade, my section changed. I guess making friends was hard, but just communicating in general was harder. Anyway, in this school, I started to miss my first school because after all, I did stay there till 3rd grade. Plus, my second school was just yeah. So in my 3rd school, I found it so hard to make friends. I'd just be sitting alone in class and in break, and even when I'd wait for my bus to come. I liked all of my teachers though, which is a change. BC in my second school I didn't feel anything, and I hated one of my teachers a lot. Yeah, so like in my 3rd school though, there were a lot of annoying kids that'd just bully me or spread rumors. And am not gonna turn this into an aesthetic where I'm some main character everyone's jealous of. They saw me as some kid who can't stand up for themselves. Yeah, so only some girls would be rude though. There was some girls who tried to talk to me, and one time someone stopped up for me. Yeah, this is why I say my classmates were the hardest things to get used to. Sometimes even some girls who were mean to me sometimes would be nice, or their friends. Like genuinely nice, or maybe IDK. My memory is fragmented about this school, but I can remember 3 to 5 girls who I talked to in P or break. But it was very rarely and girls would be rude, not that rarely. Okay, so my 4th school was WAYY better since here we moved back to the Middle East. But I think my parents were still obsessed with picking a school with discipline. More like a school with bullying, LOL. Anyway, in my 4th school my classmates were confusing again. I genuinely don't know if this is just a me thing or a common experience. But also probably because I stayed throughout half of 5th grade and all of 6th grade, and wallahi some of them matured within those two grades, while some immatured. Yeah, in 5th grade there was. Especially this one girl who was really immature, then she started to get nice out of nowhere. Don't know if it was just an act, but I think she genuinely matured somewhat. Then after 6th grade, I did start to get tired of this school since half of the class were still immature or got more immature. So I was grateful I left this school after 6th grade, even though it wasn't much my choice. So right now I am in my 5th school. 3. I joined in 7th grade, and I am going to leave in a few months, in the middle of 8th grade. Since by middle school, everyone is supposed to know about the social rules. Some kids are even dating. This school is actually ripping my head apart. Don't get me wrong, I like some of my classmates and some with this school, but all the social rules and rumors make the cells of my little brain deeply hurt. So yeah, also if it were up to me, I wouldn't leave this school because I have an amazing twin flame and OPPURTUNITY to get a good middle school story LOL. But I decided to start O-levels early because apparently it's really hard.